Students, this is lesson U1A00d. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to say, I can write the equation of a line. Okay, so we're actually going to start this exercise by not writing the equation of a line, but instead we're going to be graphing the equation of a line. So just as we had gone through in the previous video, just going through the various different ways that we can write the equation of a line and the different elements that are the different things that are needed in order to construct that equation, we should be able to identify right now that this equation is written in slope-intercept form, and we have a slope and we have a y-intercept. So in order for us to graph the equation of this line, all we got to do is we are going to start on the y-intercept. We are going to start on the point, right? So it's 0, 1. And we have a negative. We're going to go down 4 and then over to the right 3, right? The negative here implies we have a negative incline, which means the line is going to go down this way, right? It's going to have that kind of direction. So we're going to go down 4 and then over 3. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction. We're going to go to the left 3 and up 4. And there you have it. We have that line drawn. Okay? Let's go through another example. Okay, here we have y is equal to -3. And if you recall from the previous video, this is actually the equation of a line. If you notice, there's no slope written. That doesn't mean that there's no slope. The slope is actually 0, right? 0 is a number. Remember that. 0 is a number. So the slope of this line is 0. And this is actually a horizontal line. All the y coordinates on this horizontal line will have a y coordinate of -3. So this is -3, and all the y coordinates on this horizontal line will in fact be -3. Okay, moving on. So I'm looking at question 6 here. I have 0 is equal to x plus 1. Looking at this is kind of odd, right? We have 0 is equal to x plus 1. We don't have a y coordinate here. It's saying that all the y coordinates are 0? So actually, it can be recognized that x is equal to -1, right? So if x is equal to -1, and this is actually writing the equation of a line, of a vertical line, okay? So let's think about this, okay? All the x coordinates, okay, of this line will be -1. If all the x coordinates of this line is -1, if all the x coordinates on this line is -1, then that means we are going to have this situation. Okay? And then we'll do one more example. Let's do this one right here, graphing the equation of a line. We're going to start off again with the slope and then the y-intercept. The y-intercept is -3, which means I'm going to pinpoint -3 here. And then we're going to go up 7 and then over to the right 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then over to the right 2. And we are going to draw a line connecting those 2 points. And this can be a little tricky because the 2 points are spaced really, really far apart. Okay, but here we are. Let's take a look at another example. All right, so in this example over here, again, we need to graph the equation of this line. And this line, it's written a little strange. We got to rewrite this, okay? We're going to isolate y here, okay? So what we end up with is if I divide both sides by 2, I'll end up with -4 minus 3x divided by 2 is equal to y. And just to rewrite this a little more, okay, or rearrange this a little more, I see that 2 goes inside of -4 twice, and then it doesn't go inside of 3, so it's -3 halves x. Or, and written in slope-intercept form, it's -3 halves x minus 2. So therefore, again, we're going to start at negative 2, and then we're going to go down 3 and over 2. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction, the same thing. To the left 2 and up 3, to the left 2 and up 3, and there you go. All right, so the next set of examples, what we have to do is write the slope-intercept form of the line given the graph. A little trickier, but, really not that big of a deal. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy right here. Okay, so upon inspection, I immediately see that this line passes through this point, okay, and that is an absolute certainty here because I see it also passing through there. So this looks like it's going to go down 4 and over 1. And this over here, we're going to go over to the left 1 and up 4, right? So immediately I know that the slope, right, is changing y over changing x. So we're going to go down 4 and over 1, so that's negative 4 over 1. Or the slope is simply negative 4. And then recognizing that this is the y-intercept here, okay, b here is equal to negative 4. I know that the equation of the line is simply y is equal to negative 4x minus 4. Let's take a look at another example. So this is actually very, very similar. It's the same exact situation as before. If you notice right now, you're given the equation, or you're given the graph of this line, and it passes through x is equal to negative 1. It's a vertical line. So therefore, the equation of this line is simply x equals negative 1. Similarly, I have the line, the graph of this line. In this case here, I have a line that passes through y equals negative 3, and it's a horizontal line. This is y is equal to negative 3. All right, let's take a look at one more example. Let's do number 13 here. And again, we need to write the equation of this line. So the equation of this line, actually, let's not do this. Let's do this one right here. So I see here that it passes through this point, and then it passes through this point. Okay, so we're moving to the right 1, and then we're going to go 2, 4, 6. We're going to go down 6. So the y-intercept here is 3, and the slope is negative 6 over 1, or just negative 6. So the equation of this line is y is equal to negative 6 plus 6x plus 3. I'm not too satisfied with that. Let's just do one more, okay? So this guy right here, it passes through this point. Actually, right. So it passes through this point, and this point, and this point. So the y-intercept here, again, is 0, 3. And we're going to go up 1 and over 2, which means the slope here is going to be changing y is 1 and the change in x is 2. So the equation of the line is 1/2 x plus 3. Okay.